So my guard. So we're going to have the full guard. We're going to do the first things first, and I need to control their posture. That's one of the most important things. And second is I need to control their grip so it's harder for them to open up the guard. So posture, I go right hand out, left hand goes in. It doesn't have to be choke high. It just needs to have a contact point. Now, if you think about it this way, there's two ways of doing this depending on what I want to do. There's no right or wrong, they're just different, okay? If I pull my elbow forward, it's generally going to help grip break my partner. If I pull my elbow down, they're generally going to post harder to come up. So the first one is that I have the ability to, so if male tries to push up now, it's really not going to do anything because I'm top over. So what we're doing for this one here, and it could simply be our grips, is I'm trying to get my grips and I'm trying to pull. And Mel's really, really strong, so she starts pushing off my hips, which makes this really hard to do. I'm going to do two motions. Some ways I change my grip, my bottom hand, to the sleeve while I keep tension. Here. This is the hardest part about the entire move that I see people misunderstand. My right elbow goes to the ground, my hips shoot out to my left. My right elbow goes to the ground, my hips shoot out to the left, and I come up. I'm coming over the elbow. This means that it's very hard for Mel to post and to retract the arm because it's caught in there. Raise my hips, come to the top position, and take your sweep. So this is called a hip bump sweep. The concept behind it is that I'm trying to go straight to the mount position. And again. So what I see a lot of time people do this is they get what I call a cross grip, which is nothing wrong with this. And as I go to hip bump here, Mel can use the right hand to hug my hips. And now it's really hard for me to get my hips up because the weight's on my hip. Nothing wrong with that, it's just a timing thing once again. Okay, so tension, tension, grip, as Mel's trying to get the posture from here, come over and up. If I'm on my hand, my hips by default should be higher than her hips. If I'm on my elbow, her hips are higher than mine, so it's easier for Mel to drive me back down. Yeah, like that. So if I come up nice and high, it's really hard for my partner to come up. So I need this on my hand. And the last thing, just to make this a lot of information to download on a Thursday morning at 9:30 is grip, grip, tension, grip, hip bump, elbow, come over. If my hand's facing forward, this is really hard to come up into my hand because the mechanic's wrong. If I take my hand out, I can just simply straighten my arm. So I do need to get the distance measurement. This also means that Mel can't grab my hand. I come up. What I'm doing is, as I come up, I'm turning and looking towards my posting hand, and I'm extending the elbow away. This will make sure that she's extended. So I have the option to start to switch, to take arm bars at a later stage. Right now, I just kind of want to get the sweep, and then we'll have a look at the arm bar a bit later. 1, 2, 3. I've been doing that for years. Okay. This will be the next one, and this is more that I'm playing more of a aggressive game, and Mel's playing more of a defensive game where she does want me to get the collar grips and things like that as well. So instead of hand fighting, what Mel's going to do is she's just going to keep her head as far away from this spot. So like I'm trying to, and we've got that fight where like, and it's quite a bad mechanic to have. So this would be the one where I cross grip. Because she's so far away, this makes it easier. She's not tight to me where she can give me a big hug. So, like she's moved far. You don't have to go like far back, but you just have to get out of the grip zone. Okay, so it's a cross grip. Now, the way that I like to do this is a little bit different to the other hip bump sweep is I'm going to drop my hips in and nice and tight. So I'm actually going to turn like I'm doing a scissor sweep. And this is going to give me options as far as the sweeps to do. So first thing that I try and do from here is I try and come up to get up. So as I'm here, this would be the part that will dictate one of two options I have. If I can keep Mel's hand away from hugging me, I'll hip bump sweep, which is what we're going to do first of all. The second option would be that Mel gives me a hug. Okay, so first one is that I've kept the hand away, so I come up onto my hand. Exactly the same thing again is pull the hand this way so that I'm taking all her weight onto her knee. And what I try and do from here is, if you think about this way, is we're going to cross the hand over. So when we land, I've crossed the hand over. So I'm already quite heavy. I'm onto the armbar position. cup it so it's nice and deep. Hand goes across the throat. I'm going to grab the throat. It's okay.
You can now.
I can? Okay, grab the throat. Okay, now watch. The balance point means that all my weight, my 68 kilos through Mel's side, which means that I can bring my leg around the head without having to have a balance point. If my knees facing up, when I bring my leg over, I tend to fall. So it's really important that when I get to this mount position, that my left hip is down to my partner, so I have a really good balance point. I'm not trying to run the armbar, I'm not trying to race it, I'm having it controlled. So let's just have a quick look at that again. So inside the guard, and as I'm trying to collar grip, Mel's like, no, so I just grip here instead. Hip bump, I'll try and get to like the knee shield position. This will mean that if Mel does try to drive forward, I've got this position to be able to stop it from coming inside my guard. Elbow goes backwards, kick away, come up, here, pull, transfer the hand, big step, sit on my hip, grip, post, step over, an armbar. Just get rid of that hand. I don't want the hand to grab that leg to come over the head. It's not a big deal, but like I can start to be greedy and take both arms if I want to. So you have options on that as well. But that leg over the head, that's kind of the counter to the armbar. So I do want to make sure I get rid of that debris. One more. Okay. So one job to do. Make sure I can't get my hand inside your collar. Can't grab it. Cross grip. Hip sweep out to the side, knee comes through, keep the penetration, so this will keep the distance management. Elbow goes backwards, come up from here, turn, pull the arm, big step, sit, control, step, grabs the hands together, arm bar, switch, and you have the back take. You've got so many options for me, depending on your skill level and what they do. Okay, hip bump sweep, 1, 2, 3. It's a big step. It's a big step that makes me land in the position.
Okay, massively.
Yeah, the big step. So cross grip, once again, from here. That is huge. That distance management is huge.
Yeah.
Right, so my knee through. Elbow comes backwards, come up onto my hand, extend. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a big step. So I'm kind of landing and I'm crunching. Yeah, I see people that are here and there's no weight on my partner, he can move the hips, etc., etc. So I want to be here. Punch the face, and now this means that my leg, I'm not losing my balance point as I'm coming out. The arm's already at extension, so I can pretty much do the arm bar here without actually even stepping over the head if I wanted to. But I want to have safety nets in place in case I miss the arm bar. So when you're here, you sit it down towards the leg, push the arms at extension. Anytime I go towards the head, the elbow rolls slightly, which means that they can do the hitchhiker escape. Exactly. So I do want to kind of land more this way. And once again, if they do take the leg off the head, so if Sheldon does take it, I'll just take the other leg over. So now Sheldon sits up. So I have to control that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This has 2 parts again, so we'll just talk it through. So I've got to get the collar grip. My partner's kind of denying it a little bit. Make sure it's a cross grip. So not the same grip, cross grip. I take my elbow backwards, I'll throw my hips out to the left so I can get my knee through. What I'm seeing some of you, you're not quite getting the knee through, so what I want to do is elbow, hip escape, knee through, come up. What's going to happen now is my partner's going to realise that we're in danger of the sweep. So the reason I have my knee here is that if Mel does try to grab my body, like there's 8 that's in the way, right? So what they might do is they might use their right hand to parry my knee and just kind of go like so that it gets rid of my knee, and then they hug me, right? So the part I want to do is make sure that my back doesn't hit the ground. And if any time that my partner's driving more of the shoulder into my chest, put my back on the ground, I've got to actually become a cylinder. Turn them over. So the difference on this one is because they're holding my body, I don't have to hold the hand. Right, good squeeze. So, she's giving me a good squeeze. She's got the inside position. So what I see is, by default, when I try and hold this, it almost gives them the ability to push me, like man backwards. Where if I kind of get this hand here and do the opposite way, throw that hand here, it's going to give me a lot better and more dynamic drive as well. The theory or the concept behind it is that if I roll my shoulders, it rolls my spine, it rolls my spine, it rolls my hips, it rolls my hips, it rolls my knee. So I'm kind of going like hand, shoulder, knee, hip, big step, and straight away we get to mount. Make sure you take the space away. I don't want up. Because the hands are behind my back, it's really hard for them to escape the mount position. So I do want to kind of stay really nice and low once I get to that mount. Anytime that you're in a mount position and the hands behind your back, you should be squashing them into the mat as hard as you can. The hands are on the inside, we deal with the frames, but anytime the hands are on the back side, we just take the space back. But it makes it really hard for them to reassess the hands or get the hands in. So the difference on this one would be exactly the same setup as before. Can't grab it here. Elbow, hip, knee line, haha, feeling pretty good. Mel, and here. So keep the knee line. So the knee line's behind my knee. Post, throw my hand high. So drive, my right foot engages, throw my hand high, and that's going to turn her hips. Big step, here, nice and light. And yeah, do what I did where you drop your hips to the stomach, and I want to kind of keep everything nice and light. So as Mel tries to get to the inside position, I've got some really good control to be able to now go straight to the neck, and she'll do exactly that where she goes to defend, one arm in, one arm out. So this is pretty good for me. How'd that feel?
Great.
Yeah, awesome. Get off me. Yes.
Is it the same theory then that you're looking to get your hips higher than theirs?
100%. Yeah. Anytime. So the mechanic that I'm doing, the mechanic that I'm doing is here is anytime I'm going here, I'm almost riding my right hip to the ground. Or if I'm coming here, I'm almost riding my right hip high. So what I'm saying is in that position where I go to grab the arm to the hip bump sweep, because the weight's already on me and they're on my hip line, this is very hard to move them. So what I find instead is engage, elbow goes backwards because I want to turn. So elbow goes backwards, come up, and I'm throwing. So as I'm throwing, and about the pinnacle of the sweep, I just take the step, and I should be able to come to the mount position from here. 1, 2, 3. So it'll be the same concept again, so I get the grip and this time, my part, like I'm trying to grab my part, they've just got a really good grip mechanic from here. So I'm going to switch my grips to this side. And this is the part that, when I first started to teach this, this was the part that I said, move your body back. And I teach the kids move your body to your right, and everyone goes, I said, no, move your body to your right. Move your body to your right. Move your body to your right. I'm like, come on, move your body. Anyway, so.
And then I go that way.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, so grip, raise your hips, move your body to your right. Move your body. So how do I get my hand underneath is hip bump, pull forward, so she comes up. Come on. So this could a flower sweep or leg grab rollover sweep, so I'm grabbing the leg and just rolling it over. It's a really easy to do sweep. This is a sweep I have in my arsenal. I use this quite a fair bit. The reason being is that my game's very, very choke heavy. So I find that as I'm getting the chokes, people are kind of like, no, and they won't let me get the second hand. So they start to grip fight and keep the hand here. Right. So what I start to do is I just start to grip break. And then they'll almost kind of go, I don't want that hand there. So they're kind of like this, and I'm just going, so now it's pretty much in position. The part that makes this work is that my top leg doesn't go across the hip line. My top leg goes to the head. And that's what makes them top heavy, makes it come over. I swing my leg backwards and I turn down. That will give me the ability to come up to a nice high mount. So the ability to move your body underneath your partner, not your head. Right. And the second thing about it is I do want to kind of stay flat on my back, which is really hard to do. So hip bump, shoot my hand, spin. So I'm kind of on my back and then nice and tight here. Right. Swing my leg under, so this way Mel doesn't land on my leg. So if I leave my leg here, Mel lands on it, I can't get up. So I get my leg out of the way first, right? At the same motion, my other leg kicks high, like this is a motion. Here, now this is a position that I find really interesting because Mel's left hand can attack my hip line to stop me from coming up to mount. So I need to turn the angle to make sure that her post system becomes almost null and void. So it's an interesting kind of dynamic because it's going the opposite way to which we think we should go. So I'm corkscrewing myself onto, sounds really weird, corkscrew myself. So I'm going to corkscrew myself onto mount. Okay, so grip, she's stronger, Same side, raise my hips, shoot my hand under, knees to chest, I'm underneath her. Scissor my legs, boom, land, post, corkscrew myself up onto mount position here, and then I'll just start to attack the collar to do my first choke again. Okay. So leg grab, roll over sweep or flower sweep, nice and easy. 1, 2, 3.